And thank you for staying with us on Daybreak Extra. As usual, I'm not alone, but with my co-anchor, Fatima Musa. Good morning, Fatima.
Good morning, Fatima Musa. Fatima Ahmed. Okay, anyone. How are you, Sumaya?
I'm fine.
You're looking beautiful.
I appreciate. As usual, you're representing the typical
Arewa. The color. Similar.
I mean, it's the spirit. We do telepathic kind of thing.
You know, and I think I will have to come to your house to pack all your things and change your wardrobe. Maybe. Good morning, Nigeria. I'm Fatima Ahmed Musa. Thank you so much for joining us. So, Sumaya,
we seem to have a lot of things happening in the front pages of the national dailies, and one thing that is a replica to everything is the hardship that we're going through in the country, where everybody is coming out to advocate for the government to do something. Well, we'll start by taking a look at the front page of the Daily Trust Saturday this morning. The major story here says northern youths seek relief in Middle East and North Africa. Okay, and also there is a make fortunes from travel agency, tailoring, and others. We also face a dire situation in Qatar. Now, I'm curious, to read deep to understand what this whole story is all about, considering there is also a talk about we also face that situation in Qatar. You'll find this story on page 5 and 6 of the Daily Trust newspaper there. I mean, northern youth seek relief in Middle East. We all know how, northern Nigerians, considering when you look at the south west, that you find them a lot in England, you find them a lot in that part of the world, the European part. But then the Arewa people more, they get attracted or more navigate their way through the Middle East of and also North Africa. We're talking about somewhere like Somalia and all that, then the Middle East, Qatar, and the rest. So they find themselves in that kind of place. So right now they're saying that there's a lot of issues also going on there. So if you want a deep story on that, of course, you can pick the Daily Trust newspaper. Below the headmaster, it says federal government negotiating the AFCFTAs about $3.4 trillion to boost economy. That's according to Minister. You find that news on page 4. Hardship. Labour declares a nationwide protest and threatens indefinite strike action. You also find that on page 4. One thing that we've seen all through, I want to say the week, but then we've seen the back and forth since the assuming of position of President Bola Ahmed Tinubu in office with the NLC about the minimum wage, the insecurity, but then mostly the minimum wage, and also pushing for what they want when it comes to the increment of a salary to help cushion the effects of the subsidy removal. But then all of that has been a chaos of back and forth with no result yielding from that conversation between the NLC, TUC, and the federal government, and it's causing more hardship. I mean, this week we saw the NLC coming out to demand a 1 million naira minimum wage for every worker in Nigeria. But then one thing people were looking at was people were laughing at that kind of thing. But one thing is clear. We all know that, yes, at this point, people should be earning that much in order to match up, with the demands of whatever they have in life. But then the main issue here is that the NLC has been pushing a lot for the increment of salaries for since when? And it never worked. And then right now, we haven't even pushed it to 100,000. From 36. So now they're demanding a million. People are seeing it as though something that the federal government cannot do, which is, something that definitely should leak into. I mean, at the end of the day, it's all about negotiation, back and forth until there is a bit of compromise from both parties. Next, we have Usman Lanesi, the thought that he was Hausa, not knowing that he had Yoruba roots. You find that on page 26 and 27. On the feature segment, you see how Nigerians in Nigeria are faring after countries exit from ECOWAS. You find that on page 3. I don't think it's going to affect them if they're in Nigeria. Of course, nobody is going to come and say, oh, because you are Nigerian, definitely you're not part of ECOWAS, so we don't like you anymore. But then you get to hear their side. I mean, they will definitely be affected from the angle of what their family people are going through in Niger. So we could hear that feedback. If you want that, you catch that on page 3. Court orders federal government to reopen Giwa's murder case. Okay, you find that on page 8. Police officers who rejected 8.5 million naira bribe from kidnappers rewarded. I mean, that is an accolade that, of course, should be appreciated.
Even though a bounty was placed, 20 million, I wasn't expecting that much before he could come out. I kind of feel when bounties are being placed on kidnappers or terrorists, people would tend to bring them out. That shouldn't be so, because this is the safety of the citizens and everyone involved. We all need that safety. So there shouldn't be any bounty before you fish out.
You should fish out
criminals that are perpetrating and causing harm to people's lives and loved ones. So I think even though it's an achievement, I just feel it should be more.
No, but there should be a reward for it. I mean, one thing is for sure, it's not like we're saying reward everybody, but then when you motivate people to do the right thing, then of course people would feel motivated seeing other people do it, and one way or another. I mean, you shouldn't even wait or expect a result or something like a gift for doing the right thing.
That's what I'm saying.
That's what Fatima is saying. But yeah, anyway, we appreciate the fact that they were rewarded, to know that good thing or good work always pay. There's a pictorial here saying the AGESNUC Chris Meyaki and Senator Baba Ahmed touring new projects at Bayes University on Thursday, on 15th of February 2024. Now, these are some of the stories on the Daily Trust Saturday.
Okay, so let's take a look at the Guardian newspaper this morning. The major story there says killings, police vigilantes tighten security around traditional rulers. You can find that story on page 24 and 25. Okay, so halts southeast slide into Anomi. Residents charge tinubu governors. You can find that story on page 2. The writers there says Tinubu sets up tax reform committee, names Oyedele chairman. You can find that story on page 3. Police kills 6 suspected kidnappers. Arrest 6, rescue 2 kidnapped victims in Rivers. You can find that story on page 7. And 805 million frauds. Supreme Court.
All right, I think that's the much you can take on the Guardian newspaper. You can pick a copy and get a lot of stories there. All right, let's move on to more stories that we have here. All right, so let's move on to more stories that we have here. We seem to have a bit of, mistaking of old newspapers to today's own. All right, the leadership weekend here is saying that hardship. NLC begins the nationwide protest on February 27. We have Senegal court blocks President Macky Sall bid to delay poll. Now, a lot of things have been happening in Senegal, Fatima, where we saw Macky Sall, postponed elections, and people are saying that's like a push for, monarchy, also that is affecting a lot of people. But this kind of things is definitely not accepted, and it's affecting, of course, how should I say it? It's affecting how people are viewing ECOWAS, because if they cannot control a member like this, then there should be a problem about, the bloc in general. So we hope that something is done on that part. Someone cannot just go ahead and make decisions like that, which is already bringing a bit of fear on that one. Below the headmass of the leadership weekend, we have Nigeria gets $30 billion investment commitment from foreign firms. You find that story on page 7. Harsh economy. Business operators lament mass small and medium enterprises collapse. And now, if there is one thing that definitely I would agree on, is that, when you meet people that are small and medium business owners, every day, due to the foreign exchange rates, every day the prices are just fluctuating. They're just going up. I mean, even people that import things from China are also affected on a mass base, and it's really not looking good for the economy. One thing that is certain is that the federal government cannot, create job for everyone. So now Nigerian youths are rising up to the occasion of getting side hustles, having small and medium businesses, and if now that is also in jeopardy, it's affecting them, then something is wrong somewhere, and something needs to be done fast, for the growth of the Nigerian economy. A major story here says power sector privatization. The discourse reeling on the 3 trillion naira debt 10 years after only 3 of 11 power firms profitable, NERC approved capital expenditure, and also undermines operations. There's been a lot with the power struggle, energy, and all that's happening in Nigeria. We hope that the distribution company would do better. I mean, the debt of 10 years, about 3 trillion, is too much. We have on inflation, federal government shut Sahad stores over hike in prices, and other stores removing price tax. We find out on page 7. Yeah, we saw how Sahad stores was closed. That's the one in area 11, and it was due to the price that has increased. The hike was too much, and then other stores are now removing their price tags, which definitely it's kind of a two-way thing, because when you look at these people, you know that they are also getting new products. But then before, I know stores, whenever they get new products and the price is different, they would definitely put it in a different shelf to show you that this one it's a new one, so it comes with a new price, and then the other ones with the old price, and people will rush the old stock until it's finished first before they reached out to the new one. But then something is wrong, for the federal government to make this decision. And of course, it's also something that Nigerians would appreciate, considering the hardship in the economy. Then price control is something that should definitely be looked into. Below the belt, we have court orders AGF to reopen case of Dele Giwa. Police nab wanted kidnapper in FCT. Kudos to them there. These are some of the stories on the leadership weekend.
Okay, so let's take a look at this day this morning. And the major story there says, Senate, NAS ready to legislate on state police if it will address current challenges. You can find that story on page 5. And then FG pleads as NLC declares 2-day nationwide protest over growing economic hardship, insecurity. And Labour charges government to introduce policies to address the workers' sufferings. Naira depreciates further to 1,620 on the parallel FX markets. You can find that story on page 5. And then above the belt there, the Uzoka Aniti announces 30 billion foreign investment commitment in 8 months. Reveals she'll to expand operation in Nigeria. Nigeria bottling company to invest 1 billion in 5 years. And you can find that story on this day this morning. Fubara Eno Oti Keyamo Obeagbene sympathize with Herbert Wige's parents. You can find that story on page 3. And then there's a pictorial of the the governors going to condole with the family. And I think that's it for this day this morning.
It's a really sad picture.
Yes.
I mean, one thing is for sure, when it comes to loss of loved one, it's all around based on whether you're poor or rich is the same. And the heart of a mother watching her child die, it's really, really a sad situation. But then, Fatih, about the state police situation happening, the discussion also, it has been pushed for the longest time that the federal government should also talk with the state for them to even have their own. That way they can
state police,
exactly.
the vigilantes that can, safeguard the people of the community in states.
Indeed. And one thing is for sure. I mean, we've seen how the federal security has come up to say that they don't have enough hands, and they need intel almost most of the time to say, okay, if you have any information that you can share with us and all that. But then one thing is also certain, that deep down, when you go to the villages, people tend to know who is doing that.
Yes,
exactly.
That's exactly the point. Nasarawa State's already imposing the vigilantes a couple of months ago, I think, or last month, or would I say. And that's a sign that the states, governments are actually taking the initiative to see that they come up with state police in the states. And like we said, the community, the vigilantes are very important because they know these people, somehow, somewhere. They know the faces, they know who is doing this. And
the informants are always amongst the community.
Exactly. So, and they tend to suffer the most, the people in the community who are, the less privileged, that they have to.
Yeah, as they call it, rural insecurity.
Exactly.
So definitely, they have this zeal to come out and say, yes,
protect themselves from all this, kidnappings and criminal activities going on in those communities. And definitely, now they are coming into town, the capital city. So it shows that they are actually ready.
Nowhere is safe.
Nowhere is safe, actually. So we just hope that, this works. And at least we applaud the president and the governors for taking the initiative.
Indeed. So, and the Senate are saying that they are ready to legislate on the state police if it will address current challenges, which a lot of experts have said that it will or it should. And we've seen how states like Katsina State have also started the initiative. I mean, they started it before anybody due to the insecurity happening in that particular state. And it was even looking like it's progressive. And I mean, people are seeing the progress in all of that decision from the governor of Katsina. And we hope that other states will take the initiative. There will be a standard way of making these things happen to make life easy for Nigerians, because insecurity is eating deep. We're giving kudos to the security agency, getting these perpetrators. I mean, we saw how a kidnapper in the FCT was apprehended, and of course we hope that he's served.
And then others are going to be fished out just like he is. So,
it has been going on because people have been getting away with it for the longest time. So when they see that definitely you cannot get away with it, then it will definitely go down. It's so sad that the insecurity is spreading from the north to the southwest region. We've seen Ekiti battle through,
and there's a lot of back and forth with the one chance also, attacks also being carried out in the FCT. And I hope you will get the government gets the catch, or the minister gets to apprehend one, and they'll show an example of what's going to happen to people that are doing all that to people, because some people close late from work and they have to use the public transport to go back home, and they want to reach home safe, and then they find themselves
in my country
in that kind of situation. It's really a sad one for everyone.
It is. All right, let's move on to Saturday Vanguard. At the top of the page, we have the entertainment segment where the minister Musawa explores greater ways for Nigerian superstars. Yeah, we saw her in the Grammy red carpet talking about entertainment, and it's good, that we're seeing a minister doing exactly what they should do. This is the first time we're seeing, that kind of move from her side, and it's a really great start. Economic hardship, NLC declares two-day protest and warns indefinite nationwide strike over failed pacts with the federal government. Federal government secure $30 billion investment commitments, that's according to minister, to create job centers nationwide. You find that on page 8. It's a great one. They keep saying we should not talk about the insecurity, that we should make Nigeria more beautiful for investors to come in. But then if the country is great, then definitely investors would come. We wouldn't need to go and get investors. If the country is lovely, they listen. Anybody that has money, exactly, they watch. They are like headhunters. They watch and see what country is economic is doing great, and they would definitely come like flies when your country is really good. So it's a great start. We hope that it sticks, and we hope to see more of that. Court orders federal government to reopen probe and trial of killers of Daily Giwa, other journalists. You find that on page 9. Lead story, how illegal miners wreak havoc on Nigeria. That's according to investigation. Russians, Chinese deep in the illegal business. Okay, writers are saying mineral-rich communities lament illegal mining, fueling banditry, destroying environment, and farmers abandon farms, students drop out of school. I mean, Fatima, one of the major things that people have been pushing to talk about is the fact that, you know, the mining is also a top cause of insecurity, because there's a lot of minerals resources down, you know, beneath the ground that a lot of villages are on, and it's causing a lot of that. But then the most funny part about all of this, or intriguing or annoying part of it, is that Russians and Chinese would find their way to our country, go to our villages, start getting mineral resources from us, and we're supposed to believe that somebody is not aware. I mean, how is that even possible? A Nigerian cannot just travel to somewhere and to another country and have that much power. I mean, before you even enter, you have to have the necessary visa. They want to know if you're on business. I mean, if you're not, they want to see what you're doing and all of that stuff. But then we here, we give access to people to easily come in and steal from us, you know, and go ahead to build their own country while we're still stuck in the same situation. And the most annoying part is the fact that it's bringing a lot of chaos. I mean, with insecurity happening, a lot of ways have been made to show the main picture of what is going on. I mean, we've seen, you know, the Nollywood, Kannywood coming together to create a picture of exactly this kind of scenario happening, of people coming to do illegal mining, and then they would push, even though it's still alleged. But then there is an investigation that has been done that is proven this. So if you want to get the main details, you know, of that, you can.
And let me just say something, you know,
Vanguard Saturday.
Yeah, the Delegiwa's issue, you know, is someone that was assassinated in 19th October 1986. That's like almost 38 years ago. And it's sad that it's now that, you know, they are actually coming up to say, oh, investigations, yeah, and you know, should be carried out. We hope that, you know, there are other people that were assassinated, not just Delegiwa. The justice will be done. You know, sometimes cases like that takes time, but then it will come to light. Just like the issue with Tupac's, you know, assassination as well, and then after 27 years or how many years, and then
they caught one person, even though the investigation is still ongoing.
It's still ongoing.
Yeah, but the Delegiwa one is coming out because now journalists are asking the right questions. I mean, we know how journalists are
just don't like the fact that it took this long, you know, for the right questions to be asked and then the right thing to be done. You know,
funny enough, we're talking about 38 years ago. If you go back, journalists were scared to say some certain things. You know, there wasn't that much freedom. There was a lot of hush. Well, you know something, but you cannot say it.
Because your life will be threatened.
Exactly. And we know how there's always a blame game of the media. Any small little thing, they'll be like, oh, the media are the one portraying the story. Yes, you know what we're going through.
Yeah.
So that kind of situation has made a lot of journalists lost their life. And then, of course, this probe, bringing back this trial, a rerun on that particular thing is something that, of course, should be done. It's really encouraged from our part. Everybody should feel safe for doing the right thing. And then we're trying, of course, the mainstream media is trying to bring factual news, so every journalist should feel safe doing the right thing. All right, we have the Wigwe, his most treasured possessions, how he would like to be remembered. Clerics go spiritual as sunset in his Isiokbo community. Really sad situation there. We have a feature of Nkechi Blessing Sunday, a very controversial social media personality, and also we have Sharon Francis sit down on that. So if you want to watch the feature, then of course you can see that these are some of the stories on the Saturday Vanguard.
Okay, so let's quickly take a look at the Guardian this morning. And the major story there says, killings, police vigilante tighten security around traditional rulers. You can find that story on page 24 and 25. And then below the major story there, stakeholders comment tinubu, government's move to create state police. You can find that story on page 2. FD has attracted 30 billion foreign direct investment so far. Minister reveals. You can find that story on page 2. Court orders AGF to reopen prosecution of Delegiwa's alleged killers. You can find that story on page 3. Zulum promises to tackle challenges confronting Borno State. You can find that story on page 29. And then above the belt, you can see that Abdurrahman Abdul Razak quietly restoring industrial status of Kwara State. You can find that story on page 4. The Guardian Woman, reminding women of their power to create change will inspire them to big dreams. You can find that story on page 15, and that's said by Louisa Kiwana Olafuyi. So that's it for the Guardian this morning. And so, yeah, I think that's just the much that we can take, you know. So,
all right, let's take a quick break. When we come back, it will be time to open the phone line. It will be a very short break, so stay with us.
But in a situation where you find that a person look like the same,
not necessarily tribal or regional.
but I have said that.
Trust TV. My name is Ahmed Mohammed Bello, and I'm going to be taking you through my journey as an artist.
Welcome back and thank you for staying with us. Now today the topic that will be opening the phone line to discuss is how important is parent roles in nurturing child development. Now parents play a pivotal role in shaping a child's development and well-being, from providing love and support to instilling values and discipline. Parents serve as the primary influencers in a child's life, which is absolutely true. Now, their nurturing presence fosters emotional stability, social skills, and cognitive growth, laying the foundation for future success. Through guidance, encouragement, and setting examples, parents impart crucial life lessons and empower their children to navigate challenges, build resilience, and strive for their aspirations. The bond between a parent and a child serves as the foundation of a healthy, nurturing environment necessary for optimal growth and fulfillment. Now, this is a very beautiful picture I have painted out there, but there's a lot of things that we don't really understand. And when you go back to the forefathers and you see the upbringing of our parents, it's entirely different from ours, and it's definitely different from this generation, upcoming generations coming. And so right now we want to talk about what is going wrong in the society. We want to talk about the impacts, of parents in their children's life. These are things that we definitely want to hear from you about it, Fatima. But then I want to hear from you, your take on all of this parenting. What is the role of parenting?
Maybe I shouldn't say those, but the main reason why I chose this topic today, or I said for us to discuss, is because there are upcoming parents, not like our own parents that have gotten the nurturing and the guidance from their own parents, which is our great grandparents and all. The upcoming parents tend to make certain mistakes that we can learn from our parents right now, our mothers and fathers. You can see children, being addicted to one thing or the other, doing the wrong thing for some reasons. You'll be wondering what is really going on, what is happening to the parenting of this generation.
Lack of total respect.
Exactly.
For
if there are so many irresponsibilities, you could see in some children nowadays. You could see a small boy or a girl and doing something, you correct them, they can even insult you. You'd be wondering, is it the parents don't caution them, or what's really going on? So I feel we need to learn the necessary things that as parents we need to do when we have children in our care. It's not just about the love. They will tell us, don't pamper your child too much, because they will tend to become either irresponsible or pamper too much. They will demand for some certain things that they're not, and you'll be shying away from correcting your child because you feel, oh, I love this child so much, I don't want to hurt them. I don't want to keep talking to them.
There is this saying that say, if you have to hate your child for the world, to love them. Yes, exactly. But then if you love your child, then the world would hate them. That is just a proverb of saying, if you don't, you have to flog. Okay, maybe we shouldn't use the flog. I mean, this generation say there shouldn't be spanking.
And another thing, there's the role of parents is very important. Both the mother and the father play a major role in a child's upbringing.
Indeed.
There are times that I remember back then when we were kids and we fight with our brothers or our sisters, and our mothers would say, wait for your father to come, and we'll be scared because okay, it's the father that is coming. That fear, you may not see that fear. You don't see that fear in the generational children right now, because maybe the parents are, like I said, I've seen a video where a mother corrected her child and the father slapped her on social media, I think 2 weeks ago.
Well, that is horrible. I mean, one thing that is for sure is that parents should be a united front. You should always show your children that you are the same. Like your mom's, the mother's decision is my decision as the father, and the father's decision stands. I am the mother is supporting your father's decision.
Even though sometimes there will be disagreements,
but not in front of the children knowing that. So these are the things we'll be talking about. Of course, the phone line is open. You can go ahead and call the number on your screen, and also you can send WhatsApp message with your opinion on the role of parents in the life of their children.
Yes.
One thing would always say is that there is influence, but then if every parent should raise their children right, then of course these children will not come out with bad character to influence another. Yes. Yeah. So definitely we have to go back to the drawing board, as one of our constant caller would say. Go back to the drawing board.
Yes.
And yeah, I think it's Madibo, right?
Madibo always says that.
And make sure we capture the whole what is happening. So please go ahead, call the number on your screen, and also send a WhatsApp message. Please do stay away from your TV set or tone down the volume so that you can talk to us on this. Now, this is an important issue. We definitely don't know where this would get. There's a lot of good parenting, don't get us wrong, but there's also bad or maybe too casual parenting that is going on in the society that is breeding a lot of bad kids in our generation. All right, so we have a caller, first one. Good morning. So we lost that call. I think it's the network. Please go ahead, call us back, and of course tell us your thoughts on today's issue. We'll be talking about how important is parents' role in nurturing the child's development. And these are things that we definitely need to talk about. Children are missing a lot, and let's not even come to the fact that this generation we have more working class parents. I mean, both parents.
Exactly.
So a child is literally feeling the absence of a lot of. Okay, so we have
Hello.
Yeah, good morning.
Hello. Hello, good morning.
Yes, your name and location, please.
Okay, my name is David. I'm from Borno State.
Oh, thank you for joining us from Borno. How is Borno this morning?
Yeah, I've seen the talk you are talking about. How important is father's role in nurturing child development? Both sides are supposed to put their heads together.
Please, can you turn down the volume? There is this noise from your background that is not making, we can't really get what you're saying.
Okay.
Can you turn down the volume of your TV set, please? Or stay away from the TV. Are you with us?
I think
all right, I think we lost that call. Please do stay away from your TV set. Else you would call and we wouldn't really understand what you're saying, which would be a waste of, both our time. So please do call, but then turn down the volume. You don't need to hear yourself from your TV. All right, we have another caller. Good morning.
Good morning.
Yes, thank you for joining us. Your name and location, please.
Yes. Okay, my name is Humphrey. I'm calling from Port Harcourt, River State.
Can you please speak a bit louder? Yeah. Be audible a bit.
I said, my name is Humphrey. I'm calling from Port Harcourt, River State.
Oh, thank you for joining us, Humphrey. So go ahead with your thoughts.
Okay. Yeah, nurturing the child is a very important assignment for parents.
Yeah,
right now, we find out that parents are preoccupied with other things that they neglect seeing through their children, those developmental stages from year 1, 2, 3 to 6. So parents should, as a matter of urgency, go back to basics of nurturing children, bringing them up well, so that that culture, that value system will be reinstated back to our bringing up our children. Because what you put into your child is what will help that child to grow up well in the society. So we should go back to basics and beginning to put in value system into our children so that they will grow up with such important value, which will not reflect in our society much later.
Indeed. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for your thoughts and contribution on that one. I mean, yes, it's all about going back. Before, Fatima, while we were growing up, the training of a child, it's not just to the parent but also the community, but then nowadays parents do not want other people to discipline their kids for them.
They sue you, they'll sue you to court,
Meanwhile, they cannot really do it alone.
They can't do it. You can't take care of a child alone. Parenting is not, because your child could be outside, maybe in different states, doing something. Another parent that can stand to see that child doing that thing would correct them, there. And then you can't say, oh, why, when your child calls you to say someone corrected me or someone insulted my background, or saying I'm not well disciplined. You can't say, why is that person saying so? Because that child is out of your sight. You don't see them. You don't see what they are doing. So it's for you to say thank you rather. Hello, good morning. Good morning.
Morning.
Morning. Your name and location, please.
From Niger State.
Sorry?
Niger State, Makwa.
Okay, your name, please.
Mohammed Sabi.
Okay, can you tone down the volume of your TV set so we can hear, because there's a delay and you wait to hear us before you say something?
Yeah,
please.
You literally wait to hear us from your TV, and it's not that way. Hear us from your phone. So thank you for joining us. Go ahead with your thoughts.
Hello? Hello?
All right, I think we'd have to let you go, because there's a bit of delay and we don't have time. There will be a lot of people that would definitely want to seize the opportunity to share their thoughts on what is, the topic for today. So please, if you're calling, turn down the volume. You cannot hear yourself from your TV. You cannot decide to hear us from your TV when you're already talking to us on the phone. You have to stay away from your TV set. All right, good morning.
Morning.
Yes, thank you for joining us. Your name and location, please.
Yeah, I am Mustafa. I am joining you from Damatru.
Oh, thank you for joining us, Mustafa. Go ahead with your thoughts.
Yes, sir. Hello?
Yes, we can hear you. Go ahead.
Hello?
Are you with us, Mustafa? Are you with us? All right, I think we lost that one. Go ahead or call us. I don't know if the network is, affecting our call, but please go ahead and call us via the number on your screen and send in messages. What is the role? How important is the role of parents in nurturing child's development? These are things that we definitely need to talk about. These are things that we need to address, and a lot of messages, are coming in. Of course, I mean, we want to hear from those people. But we have another caller. Good morning.
Good morning, Sumaya.
Yes, good morning. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you very much for having me on the program this morning of today.
Of course. Please, I would want you to talk a bit audible so that we can hear you. So where are you calling us from?
Are you sure it's not
Can you hear me now? Can you hear me now?
Yes, we can hear you now.
Yes, Mohammed Modibo calling from.
Fatima actually got it right. She said that's Mohammed Modibo.
Good to see you people again.
Good to see you. Good to have you.
Have you.
Thank you once again. This topic of yours is an important topic.
Mohammed Modibo, I need you to speak a bit louder, please.
Yeah. We can barely hear you.
Okay.
Yeah.
What of now? Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay. What I'm saying is, this is one of the problems that bedevil our society today. Lack of good parenting. Parenting has collapsed. And this is happening as a result of both parents, not doing the right thing in terms of taking care of their own children. Most especially, like you rightly pointed out, these days we have both parents that used to go out all the times in search for material things. So most at times, these parents leave the custody of their own children in the hands of house helps or other relatives that stays with them. So there is this communication gap that is existing between the parent and the children. When the parent comes back home, they used to come back exhausted and they don't have time to talk to the children, to listen to them, to know what is really happening with them. And these children, sometimes we had many cases like this, where these people who are left with the custody of the children turning out to abuse these children. Not only talking about maltreating them in terms of, beating the hell out of the children unjustifiably, they end up raping them, changing their lifestyle, abusing them sexually and what have you. So I think the call is we have to be very careful. We should know that our quest for material things should not allow us to leave our responsibilities that God Almighty put on our shoulders to take care of our children and to ensure that we give them the right moral value. We raise them in a way that they will benefit themselves and benefit the society they live, not leaving them uncared for, turning at the end of the day to be nuisance to the society. Instead for them to be useful to the society, they will turn out to be nuisance to the society. And these are the kind of children that used to be stone-hearted as a result of lack of that parental care. So we have to, all hands must be on deck for us to get out of this mess. Our parents must know that being in marriage does not only entails you having children just to cater for their needs and just whatever they want you to provide for them, that's just end there. No, you have to ensure that you inculcate the right moral values religiously. Let them have that spiritual limpidity. Let them have that moral upbringing for them to have that empathy
Indeed.
Not only for the society they live at large, so as for them to be useful at the end of the day to themselves and to the society.
You just hit the nail on the head.
Yes,
Mama Modibo, let's go back to the drawing board, right?
Always.
Thank you so much for your contribution. I mean, he gave a picture, you know, a whole big picture on exactly what is going on. I mean, one of the things he made mention of is the fact that the children are now stone cold. You know, they have a stone heart.
They don't open up. They don't connect with the parents.
Exactly. They are more connected to.
Let's take this message from His Royal Highness. You know, the two of them always have a way of, you know, dissecting every topic that we put out there. So let's take a look at this message from His Royal Highness. He said, good morning, Trust TV to you all. I trust you're all doing well. The topic of matter, how important is parenting role in nurturing the child's development? And he said parents play a crucial role in shaping their children's development, both physically and emotionally. From a young age, children are constantly learning and absorbing information from their environment, and parents are a major part of that environment. Studies have shown that children who have involved and nurturing parents tend to have better cognitive, social, and emotional outcome than those who don't. Even simple things like reading to a child or playing with them can have a profound impact on their development. It's clear that parents play a crucial role in shaping their children's future. That message is from His Royal Highness. And then he moved on to say more elaboration. Let's start with physical development. Studies have shown that children who have involved parents tend to have better physical health, including lower rate of, you know, obesity and better overall health. This is likely due to the fact that parents can model healthy behaviors for their children, such as eating nutritious food and exercising regularly. In addition, parents can provide their children with the opportunity to engage in physical activities, which is important for physical development. They can also ensure that their children get the proper amount of sleep, which is also crucial for health and development. So that's
you're really worthy. I mean, His Royal Highness
diplomats
in Danoko, of local jazz.
And like I said, you know, he
seemed to have knowledge on everything.
You know, it's like they are always, you know, clashing, you know, with their thoughts, opinions, and messages.
Indeed, we'll dissect what he said, but then we'll have a caller. Good morning. All right, we lost that call. Go ahead, call or send us messages. All right, we have another caller. Good morning.
Hello.
Yes, good morning. Thank you for joining us. Your name and location, please. Are you with us?
Hello, ma'am.
Yes, we can hear you. Your name and location, please.
Can you hear me there?
We can hear you.
Okay, this is...
Yeah, good morning.
From Kwara State.
Again, your name? All right,
I heard I didn't get the name, but he's calling from Kwara State. Please do call us back.
Call us back. Let's hear your thoughts on this issue. But then, yes, going back to what Modibo and His Royal Highness talked about is really important. A lot of things has been left, you know, for the world to do the training for you, for machines. We're talking about gadgets
and whatever. Yeah.
All right. Good morning.
Good morning.
Yes. Your name and location, please.
Good morning.
Yeah, we can hear you. Your name and location, please.
I'm calling from Niger State. I'm by name Silas Ayuba.
Okay, Silas, thank you for joining us. Go ahead with your thoughts.
Actually, the society today has turned to be something else. If you look at the hardship in this country, have made some parents could not have time to sit and then have a fun and know the problem of their children. As early as 6 o'clock, mother is struggling to go and sell tomato or corn or whatever. The father is also running up and down to go and get something for the children to manage in the house. So, with this, how would parents have time for their children? Maybe before they will come back, the children may have slept. And at the end of the day, you end up hearing stories from one angle to another. But I'm sorry to say this, in another aspect of it, sometimes we may blame mothers. There are secrecy mothers usually keep it within them. They don't want to disclose it to the husband so that both of them will sit down together and find solution to it. Until it gets out of hand. So for that reason, they should stop hiding some of the things. They have children, if parents do not handle them with iron hands, they may not have any fear of either the mother or anybody around the society. But for our effort, we will continue to do our best.
Indeed.
By telling your husband the problem that you are facing with your children, it doesn't mean that you don't like them. Because they say you share a role and a child. So with our effort, let us put our hands together and see what we can do about these children.
Okay. Thank you so much, Mr. Silas. Thank you so much for joining us. Thank you for your contribution.
Yeah.
And Sumaya, I think Mr. Silas has, said one thing that I wanted to say earlier, like, the hardship also, the hardship, the economic situation, it wasn't like, when our parents were, doing their own time, it's kind of, it has changed. The economic hardship keeps getting worse by the day, Okay, we have another caller. Good morning.
Good morning, madam.
Morning. Your name and location, please.
I'm Mohammed, who is so taxi. I'm speaking from Lavun local government.
Okay, Mohammed.
From what local government? Please, can you speak louder? I don't know if the volume is from us here because we can't really hear a lot. Yeah, what were you saying?
Lavun. Yeah, in Niger State.
Okay.
Thank you for joining us. Go ahead with your thoughts.
Thank you, ma. The importance of parental role and upbringing of the children, I think I give kudos to the women because most of the time, most of us, especially the parents, some of us work like in the bank, like in the social media. We go out as early as 7 a.m. in the morning, leaving our wife at home, taking care of the children. Before you come back, see that.
Are you with us? I wanted to hear him, and please, our directors, if you can do something with the volume, we can't really hear them very well. But then, please, if you're going to call, just stay away from your TV so that we can hear you, and try as much as possible to be audible, because it seems to be a bit, far away, distant. And these are issues that we definitely want to hear. Everybody calling has a pointer on these issues. Last caller, Silas, made mention that all of us had to put all hands on deck in order to make this work. All right, we have another caller. Good morning.
Hello.
Good morning. Are you with us?
Yeah, I'm with you guys.
Okay, we can barely hear you. Can you please increase the volume of your phone?
Okay, my name is Mustafa. I'm calling from Imo State, Damaturu.
Mustafa from Imo State, if I get you correctly.
Yobe State.
Yobe State. Okay.
All right, go ahead.
All right, thank you so much for joining us.
Mustafa just traveled to Imo today.
I heard Imo, it's Yobe, he said. So go ahead, please.
Yeah. I think researchers have to suggest that parental nurturing of children maybe, or it is the most significant contribution parents can make for their children's positive growth and development. So, children who, I think there are so
Go ahead, Musa.
Hello.
We can hear
you. I think there's network issue.
Yeah.
Because I can't even hear him anymore. So Mustafa, please do call us back if you can hear us while we talk with Sumaya. Sumaya, so you were saying what Silas said, because, I think he was the last caller.
Yeah, he made mention of a lot of points. I mean, one thing you mentioned, the hardship situation, which definitely it's one of the major factor affecting, the parenting, but also let's not forget there is still some kind of negligence also from parents. They're not doing enough. We've become so relaxed, to doing exactly what should be done. And it's both ways. Nobody is saying we're blaming a mother or a father, because parenting is
both ways.
It's two parties coming together, and nobody can really do it alone, except the ones that maybe destiny has made it so, maybe with the loss of a spouse.
Exactly.
Yeah, but then you have to do all of it together. All right, we have another caller. Good morning. Good morning.
Hello.
Yes. Thank you for joining us. Your name and location, please.
I'm Mr. Basil.
Thank you for joining us. Go ahead.
I'm Mr. Basil. I'm calling from Cross River State.
Sebastian calling from Cross River.
Cross River State.
Okay.
All right. Basil. Yes.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. Yes. Yeah. I love this program. Very, very interesting.
Thank you.
Appreciate.
Yeah. So my take here is that women are so formidable in this area, because they always mapping out time to ensure that they give the children the best. Though the men are being occupied by so many kinds of engagement, though some of them are trying. But the area I want to lay hand on is that, yes, it's good to nurture children. Why nurturing the children? We, the elders, what kind of life are we living? That is the most important thing.
Very important.
The child can be nurtured well in their house, and you still see the parents doing something else. Like let's in this our country, we see the electoral problems, all this evil gain, everything being perpetrated by elders. A small child will see the elders begin election. From home, the child has a good background, but seeing the elders engaging in some kind of illicit behavior or some certain things, it will affect the child growth. But so the child may think that this is the way of life. You see police people on the road collecting money, elderly people, and the child with inside can see them just collecting money without any transaction. Those things affect the growth of a child. So sometimes it's good to nurture child from the home, but when the child is trying to trying to expose to the environment, you now start seeing elders misbehaving, doing all kind of things, electoral rigging, balance snatching, all those things. You see the elders involving themselves, it affects the child growth. So this area we have to work on, so that when the child is growing, you cannot see the elders are responding to the instruction they are giving their child at home. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much.
I mean, that is why we open the phone line to hear from different
angles and opinions of parents. Like I said, so this generation parents would learn from what the elder parents are doing or what our parents have also instilled in us. I know there's need for enlightenment. I think to educate parents on what their crucial roles are, because some of them they don't tend to understand what they
what parenting is. Yes. Good morning. Good morning. Are you with us? All right. I think we lost that call. So one of the things he made mention of is the fact about the society. Sometimes you instill certain things on your child, but then the child goes out and see the grown-up also exactly doing something different, which is still boils down, I think, to still parenting. I mean, when a parent try to lead, a child grows to
Hello, good morning.
A good person.
Hello, good morning.
Your name and location, please.
My name is Shehu Ned. I'm calling from Adamawa State.
Okay, Shehu. Thank you so much for joining us. Please go ahead.
I hope you allow me to speak in Nigerian dialect so that for many audience to understand.
Okay.
I would like to use a pidgin English here.
Go ahead.
I hope that is allowed.
Yes, of course. Go ahead. It's fine.
Good. Now, the first thing, nobody go and plant seed for a farm, and at the end of the day, you know, go reap better thing.
So nobody would want to plant something without expecting, reaping.
Good. Parents, every parent is as important as anything in every child's life. Just like farmer go clear in farm, say I want to go plant rice, so that water them. If you know water them, if you know put fertilizer, do all the necessary things, at the end of the day, have a good result. So if you born pikin and you don't get time to nurture them, of course, say you go either become Sarasuka area boys and you go just born nonsense to society. And the entire society itself go bad. So my advice to every parent, please, in every religion, whether it be Islam, Judaism, Christianity, I don't see where they say make you born pikin, they will no guide them. You must have time, no matter how busy your schedule might be, you must get time for the mother, the kids, and your own household. These things don't change. Hardship and that hardship has been existent right from the inception of the creation of man. We can't avoid it. How does Adam survive with his children and Eve? We should go back to those histories and read them. How does those before us survive? Then that time from day one and that time will ever be till the end of the world. Parents should always, no matter how urgent, how tight your schedule might be, 2 hours, so this one is for my kids. Every 2 hours, no matter anything you get, suspend them. These 2 hours now for my family and children. Teach them. Things where our fathers don't teach us. How to love ourselves, how to love our neighbor, how to be good to the society, how to help others to come out for wahala and this and that. But if you pack all the children time plus their mama time, pull for your head, say, they find waiting they want chop. I no get time. Of course, the rule of the children contribution to society, you either end up just born pikin, throw them away. And at the end of it all, at the end of the crop season, you have a bad Sarasuka and the water view, or this Agbiru and that. And the society will also know, say, yes, the society, the tradition, the culture, the everything, the civilization is also part of the things that is making things more, just as the previous scholars have said. But that is not an excuse to me. No matter what it is, find time to sit with your children, play with them, talk to them. I agree with the area of Lokoja and those who said, yes, we must find time. They should sleep early so that their brain will grow, they will reason well, play with them, teach them right from the wrong. No, do like this is how they do them. And as they grow, whatever you do before children, then they see, they will want to copy. So it's my advice to the parents, please, let us have time. And no matter how small that time might be for our children, make we no ignore them all so that they don't become nuisance on our street. Thank you all.
Thank you so much for that contribution. I mean, he emphasized on having the time. Since you've already made the decision to give birth, then you also have to put in the work in order to make sure you nurture that child to the right way. And let's not forget the woke generation, the woke mothers, the Gen Z baddies coming out to be mothers.
Even though I didn't want to really mention, you remember the video I sent you? You could see the boy, on social media going viral. The boy dancing close to, I don't know if it's his mother or his aunt, and he's raising a bottle of alcohol
and taking it. Good morning.
Good morning to the studios.
Yes. Morning. Your name and location, please.
Mohammed Abdullahi, I'm calling from Adamawa State.
Oh, thank you for joining us, Mohammed. Go ahead.
I want to first of all commend you in the studios. It's such an important topic. The topic is really timely, considering the situation we find ourselves in Honestly, we're in a fix at the moment, and I know parents are really trying to see how they can handle the situation. But I want to commend your media for bringing up this important topic at this particular time.
I appreciate.
Honestly, things are hard, and parents are trying, and I urge that the government should look into it, most especially from the local government level to the state government and then the federal government. But the most alarming thing that is disturbing us at the moment now is this Almajiri over thing. I want to please solicit, let your media, because it's a pride of the nation at the moment. Honestly, your media is playing a vital role in this country for us, and we are really appreciating that.
Thank you.
Your media should shine that searchlight on the issue of this Almajiri over thing, because it's really alarming at the moment. What is really happening? Please, government should do something about it, because we're on a time bomb. If you see how these people are scavenging, you understand? Because the economy is hard, the economy is bad. Not like before that, if they just come to a particular household and they talk, they give them food. People are struggling now. People have not even calculus of thinking how they can be concentrating on this Almajiri over thing. Please, government should do something about it. Government should do something about it, because we are really on a time bomb. And you see all these things are happening in the north. Please, honestly, because the situation, the economy is really biting, the economy is really, really bad. Please, if you can assist us, maybe you can put it on a topic, on a particular topic that you discuss about it. Maybe it might attract the attention of our leaders. Because it's like they don't care about that. And these boys are the future of tomorroo. No Western education, and even the Islamic education. Look at how they are scavenging. You cannot put them in a particular place to get it. So I truly want to appreciate you. May God continue to bless our country. Good morning.
Amen. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much for that. Of course, I would send the message to our management to see what can be done about creating awareness on all of that. I mean, there is always advantage where there is disadvantage, so we'll definitely share more light on that one for people to understand everything going on that one. And of course, yes, due to time constraint, I mean, we have to put a stop to the calls right now, but then we have a lot of things to discuss about this. The wrapping up of this is that parents need to do more. Of course, the economic situation, it's definitely taking a toll on everybody, and of course, especially the parent with that, a large number of responsibility. But then you still have to have time to create full family. And talking about also the work, mothers, not mothers, the work parents, where there will be a lot of fathers saying, don't touch the kids, don't do this to the kids, or the mother would be, parents not being on the same
to that
page.
Video, it's kind of worrisome, to see that kind of thing, and that boy wouldn't, be more than 5 years old.
Exactly.
It's really a sad one.
Parents having some kind of parties in the house
and their children are there. You don't take them out. Yes.
There's still a lot to look into. We know already the right way. Parenting, it's clear. It's something that is popular, clear. So before you go through it, you need to go take a book. I mean, there should be book for parents for dummies. I think
so. Like I said, enlightenment. There should be books. There should be activities.
Yeah, parenting for dummies. So please pick it up and understand everything, because your decision would change the next generation. We are tired of seeing children doing the wrong thing. We're tired of seeing children being disrespectful to people on social media. We're tired of seeing children getting really angry when somebody has a different opinion from their own. We're tired of seeing children wreaking havoc in the society. And we hope that, of course, all hands would come and be on deck in order to face the situation. Thank you so much for every one of you that called and tried to even reach us, but you are not able to. Appreciate you. Those who called with their amazing opinions and, of course, contributions.
Also,
we
text
appreciate.
messages, WhatsApp messages as well.
Yes, so the WhatsApp message. We couldn't read some, so we appreciate all of you sending in your messages in detail to explain this situation. And of course, the show is not going anywhere, but of course, this segment will return next week, Saturday. I'll open another phone line to hear from you guys. Yes, I cannot even wait.
I can't wait as well, you know, it's always
We get excited here. All right, with that, we'll take a quick break. And when we come back, it will be time for our discussion. So stay with us.
Thank you so much for joining us. If you're just joining, this is Daybreak Extra coming to you from our studios right here in the center city of Abuja. Okay, so now we're going to be, discussing the art of voice acting. You know, a lot of people don't really know what voice acting is, Sumaya, and there are a lot of people that want to venture into, this kind of career of voiceover, and doing for commercials or movies and what have you. So that's what we're going to be discussing today, In the dynamic world of voice acting, where words come to life through sound, lies a realm of creativity, skills, and boundless opportunities. From giving voice and life to characters in movies, animations, and video games, to narrating audiobook and commercials, voice actors play a vital role in captivating audience worldwide. Now, you agree with me that that really happens because, when you're acting and your voice comes on it, you have to act out what you're narrating, to make it believable for people to cue into what you're doing. With each vocal inflection and intonation, they transport listeners into a richly imagined world, evoke emotions, and breathe life into scripts. Today we want to take a look at the fascinating realm of voice acting, exploring the techniques, challenges, and the opportunities it offers to those with a passion for the spoken words. So now joining us via Zoom from Kano is Hawa Musa Abdullahi, popularly known as Mofi. She is a musician, voice-over artist, and she is also an entrepreneur. But before she joins us, let's take a look at some of the videos that she has, acted on. Let's take a look.
Wannan ce ta ce rayuwata ta shiga gaban motar yanzu gashi ta samu rauni. Na dauke ta aiki ta zamo sakatariyarka. Sakatariyata dai. Dole kana buƙatar wanda zai taya ka gudanar da aikinka. Ka tuna ita ta ce rayuwarka. Amma faragiya bata sani ba. Cewa babban makiyinta take ta yi wa hidima.
Okay, now we are all laughing, we can't stop. Even Michael and Kasumaya, what's actually funny, Just let me hear from you before we go to
I just have a lot of questions for her on that one. There was so much emotion, in the voice
acting, Yeah, and then acting it out like you're seeing as if it's actually really happening.
At this point, she should get a Grammy
or
Oscar
award. Thank you so much for joining us. Please tell us what drew your attention to venture into voice acting in the first place.
Good morning, everyone.
Morning.
Actually, even before the introduction of this Hausa dubbing from India to Hausa, those days there are a lot of people who really love watching Indian movies a lot, especially our parents. So I was like, since they really love watching it and they don't really understand what they are saying, why can't we just start translating it from India to Hausa? It will draw a lot of attention. So I guess that was what drew my attention to start doing this. Yeah.
Okay. So how far has that been so far? How is the outcome? What's the outcome like? Have people the feedbacks that you've been getting? How much is it, and how overwhelming is that is for you?
Actually, it was explicit because a lot of people love it. I do receive a lot of calls from, especially our elder ones. They were like, I really helped them because they love watching movies and this is what I do, and so they really appreciate it. I used to have a lot of calls from people, so it's really overwhelming, yeah.
All right, Mufi, I don't know if I'm doing justice to your name, but it's a beautiful, a very catchy brand name there. All right, so how do you approach bringing character to your voice, or bringing life into the character of the voice? I mean, the video that we just watched, I saw the Indian actress getting all angry, and then your voice is matching up, exactly the emotions that is being shown out there. So how do you try, to understand your character and bring life to your voice?
Well, actually, it has to do with a lot of work, determination, and practices, because I not only one voice is there, I do like 5, 6 voices.
Really impressive.
So so it has to do with a lot of practices, determination, and confidence from me. At first it wasn't really like that, but it takes a lot of confidence, determination, and practices.
Okay, so now some of the voices, like Sumaya rightly said that we heard, I want to know if you did most of the voices. Did you actually do all the voices that we just watched? Because we watched the one that, they were sitting in that room and they were threatening that other girl and she stood up and was trying to fight. Did you do the voices for the female and then the male version, if someone took it, or you did that too? Because you just said
the male version,
voices.
no. I do not do the male version of it. Actually, that is my boss who do that. So, like let's say 3 to 4 voices there, I guess. Are all mine.
All right, Mufi, let's talk about challenges that is uniquely different from the traditional, acting on screen or on theater. What is the difference that you'd say this is a challenge that only voice actors tend to face?
Well, the challenges are much actually, because it's not my voice. It's a voice that I'm trying to emulate, So the challenges are much, because you have to sit down trying to figure out the voice that is going to suit this particular lady, the voice that is going to suit this particular lady. So you see, the challenges honestly are much. You just have to do a lot of work before diving into it.
Apart from that,
before
is there
you
any
get
other
the actual
challenges?
voice that will suit the particular person. If the lady is fat, if the lady is tiny or is small, So
because I remember you saying that whenever you do that voice, you always, have pain in your neck for a couple of days.
Is it esophagus? Yeah.
Yes. So how challenging is that, and what do you do afterwards when you do all these voices? What do you do to relieve the pain? Because there are so many people that want to, take this as a career, so it's better they know the challenges ahead for them to prepare, their minds. Okay.
I need a warm water, because I know definitely it will come to this. You will definitely ask me. So I need a warm water before I will do that, because it's something that is not part of me and I'm trying to bring it into it. So I used to have sometimes I do go home with sore throat.
But don't you get discouraged, when you faced with this kind of situation where, you have to give in your all, and every time you have to go and nurture your throat, just like a singer would do, after it's stressing.
We just hope the pay
voice
is also worth it, for that. So, yeah.
Yeah, it is worth it, honestly, it is. Yeah.
Okay, so can you do any voice aside from the ones that we've watched, or let me say the old woman's voice? Because I've always, wondered how you do that, because I've watched some of your translations and it comes out perfectly well, just like Sumaya said, that if the voice matches with what the activity that is going on there. So can you try a voice for us? Let's see how you do that.
Sure, why not? Honestly, actually, the voice is a kind of complicated and is my favorite, because anytime I'm outside, maybe I went for an event, so a lot of people will be like, Mufi, so wow. I'll be like, these people, they don't know how difficult this is. But it's my favorite, actually. It's a kind of bring out the movie, it makes the movie accepted by everyone with that particular voice.
Okay,
so I think I can, I can try it. Yeah. Okay.
I can't wait.
For instance, permit me to speak Hausa.
All right.
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay. Daybreak, right? Jama'a assalamu alaikum, kamar yadda kuka sani sunana Mofi. Ina tare da Sumayya da kuma Cherry a cikin shirin Daybreak na Hausa daga garin Abuja. Da fatan za ku ci gaba da kasancewa tare da su. Allah ya muku albarka.
Interesting.
Wow.
I mean, for a minute, for a second, rather, I got blown away. Like, oh, okay. I mean, the transformation is really incredible. You know, and earlier you made mention of how you know it is worth it for you to do this. So let's talk about financially. How beneficial is this career path that you've chose?
So Alhamdulillah, I wouldn't say it's not paying, but I'm not after the money. All I'm after is people's happiness and acceptance. And Alhamdulillah, it's been accepted all over, and people really love it. So for the money, it's nothing to talk about. But Alhamdulillah, the name, the happiness I brought to people is worth it. Yeah.
All right. I mean, we still have a lot of questions to ask, and it's good to have you here on that one. Nigerians have been curious about a whole lot of things, and who better to ask this question than a voiceover artist? You spoke about the dubbing. I mean, we've seen how some parts of Nigeria that watch a lot of, especially the Indian movie, find it difficult to understand and keep up with the language and translation. So you decided, some group of people decided to dub it and then translate it in Hausa, making it easier for people. And we saw how massively people have been watching this. So what about copyright? I mean, you must have an insight of this industry. Is there any collaboration or reaching out to the owners of these movies in order to have these things put? Can it go on social media platform like YouTube without any infringement?
Yeah, there is this guy, Pawan. He's an Indian. Yeah, Inaga, I worked for, he was the first person that introduced Hausa dubbing from India to Kano. I mean, I guess there was a time I heard him talking about this license with my boss, Buzo and Philo. So I guess there is a license to that, because the movies are all over the social media platforms, the YouTube and everywhere. So you see, I don't think YouTube will even allow it to be posted in their channel without the license and what have you. So it is licensed,
because they would have flagged it off, because of the copyright. But then, it's really fascinating, initially in my opening, that's what I said, because there are a lot of people, like I said, that will want to venture into voice acting, and, they will be wondering how that is done. But what do you see is the future trend, moving on for people who want to venture into voice acting? What do you think they need to do that would be trending, and how they can actually find themselves, get into this particular industry, that the voice acting industry? What's the future trend that you think is going to emerge and for them to look into?
Well, actually, to me, sorry, let me bring my company into this. Alligator was the first person, the company was the first company that introduced this Hausa dubbing in the whole of Kano. So, after that, there are a lot of people who want to come in, and after that, they spoil everything. So to the extent that people stopped watching it, because there was a time I went to my youth service and everything stopped. They stopped listening to hearing my voice in it. So a lot of companies started coming in, and the work stopped. The work corrupt. Everything corrupted. So they were like, "Hi, we'll stop watching this. We'll stop watching this movie since there is no movie. Movie is not doing this. Movie is not doing that." So I guess they need to focus on it, undergo a lot of trainings and training and research, so things will work out to be fine, inshallah. I guess.
All right, let's talk about how you prepare your voice for a particular project. Is there any specific technique that you tend to do before starting a project?
I eat a lot of bananas and hot water. Like I said, this is it.
She keeps trying.
That's it. That's my secret. Yeah.
All right,
For my
so,
voice to be smooth and accurate. Yeah.
do you tend to
I eat
look
a
at
lot
your
of
mirror
bananas.
just like most actors? I mean, actors and journalists are basically have a lot of similarities. So do you tend to maybe look at yourself in the mirror and try out different kinds of voices, just in case?
Yes, it's crazy because I remember sometimes if I'm doing maybe trying to like emulate a voice, I'll be doing it in my own room. My mom will be like, "Hey, can you can I I'll be like, "Oh, can I I'll be like, they will not understand."
Okay, so aside from voice acting, you're an entrepreneur and you're also a journalist, So how do you manage, your job as a journalist and then your business as well as, doing this voice acting?
Honestly, it's not easy, but like I said earlier, it needs a lot of hard work and determination. I don't sleep. Look at my look at my face. I don't used to have a lot, enough sleep. Sometimes I sleep around 4 a.m., 3 a.m. because it's not easy. I do a lot of things. Most of my work are in the night from 12. The world is so quiet. No more like hyena and what have you. So it's not easy. That's all what I can say.
But all
because
of this
I believe what Sumaya can do, Mufi can do it. What you can do, I can do it. Yes.
But all of this stress, doesn't it affect your voice?
Sorry?
All this stress, you made mention of a lot of stress that you go through, and sometimes you sleep,
yes.
At the late hour or early hour of the morning. Does it affect your voice?
It sharpened my voice because, the more you use your voice, the more smooth and sweet it becomes. So I love it. Yeah.
All right, Mufi, you made mention of how people stopped watching the dubbing movie being translated in Hausa because they missed your own voice, your own presence. So what would you say, as someone who has been doing this for a while, what would you say would differentiate a great voice actor from a good actor? What makes you that great?
Like
your
like my style. Own voice, I don't know. People do, I don't know. Sometimes I'll be like, "What in the scenario? Is it true that they'll be like, Mufi, your voice is so sweet. We prefer your own voice." Because like I said earlier, I was in Jigawa for my youth service for like a year. They did not hear my voice. So the company actually went down, because Mufi was not there and they brought out a lot of people to work under the company to represent Mufi. So there were a lot of chaos that Mufi, we prefer your voice. Somebody I'll be like, God, what is in my voice? So I guess it's because I do that with the whole of me, Anytime you see me in the studio working, you'll be like, wanna take a chair Indian take him because I do that with the whole of me, honestly. So that's it.
Okay, so as exciting as it may get and interesting as it seems, there's always a challenge. How do you manage pressure, when you're carrying out this project that you get to act on? How do you manage the pressure that comes with it, especially if you have a deadline that you need to meet up with?
Well, I give myself like a break of 1 hour to sleep off my phone, sleep and continue. Life goes on. Sleep is very important.
It's that easy.
Is there any memory like that you would want to share that was actually captivating and you got feedbacks from the people watching, or the project didn't really go well and you got some backlash from people? Is there any memory like that you would love to share?
When I got nominated to work with Z World, Z World, yeah. So they nominated me among the whole of movie dubbing artists in Kano. So I was the only person that was selected to work with them for like 3 months, and honestly, it's worth it because I was paid in dollars, and also the money was It was so sweet. So
that is a huge one. It's a huge achievement.
How will you say the money is not sweet when you are saying you are being paid in dollars? Can you imagine, Murphy?
but it is a huge one.
So it's I was like, I don't want to work. I just want to continue with my Durban. Yes, if this will continue.
How is that achievement for you, though? How did you feel? You know, breaking through barriers, starting something from your own country, and then having an impact for international industry to reach out to you. How is that achievement? How is that feeling for you?
Honestly, the feelings is on like, can I say it's unbearable? I couldn't like. Oh my God, I don't even know. Even right now, I'm feeling excited as if I should just bring back the money up and sing you that feeling there.
Okay, so Mofia, look, quickly, let me ask this question. You know, technology has a way of playing a role in everything that we do. How do you think technology has helped in, you know, modernizing and shaping your voice? Because there are some voices that you do, I wouldn't want to say it comes out as your voice, because you as much as you do that, maybe there's a way that they use the technology to enhance it. So what role do you think technology plays in this aspect?
Well, honestly, I would say technology has really improved or has really helped us in working, because anytime I'm working and I couldn't really get this particular voice, so I'll be like, oh, why can't we just maybe touch this key and it will bring out this particular voice, or it will give me this particular voice, and many people will not even really know that this is Mufi's voice. So in that part, I'll say that, yeah, technology has really helped and we are grateful. So things like this will really help in the future with the way things are moving, inshallah.
All right, there is this one question that I'm very sure people would want to know. Can you walk us through your process of, you know, adapting a character, taking it through? And we're not talking about just one, because only in one movie you translate about 4 to 5 voices,
or 6 voices,
or even more. So can you walk us through the process of you preparing to achieve all of that smoothly?
Sorry, I didn't get the question.
Oh, the question is, can you walk us through your process? Say, you know, someone reach out to you to say, we want you to translate or to dub, to voice over a movie.
Okay,
for
with
us.
different voices,
yes, with
like
different
3 voices?
Walk us through the process.
Okay. Sumaya, Cherry, Mufi. Okay.
So do another voice again.
Sumayya, na ji an ce kin je wajen Cherry kin yi magana a kaina. Me yasa? Ni kuma ban fahimta ba, yaushe na je wajen Cherry na yi maganan nan. Gaskiya ba ni bace. Ai ina na kuka faɗa, na san lokacin da kuka faɗa, dan haka kuka maimaita maganan nan. Wallahi mama ba mace.
Fascinating. That is so fascinating.
Now that first voice actually got me scared, because I couldn't believe it came out from you, you know.
That is quite fascinating, Murphy. All right, let's talk about your advice to, you know, younger generation out there. People, not only younger generation, because we all know that some people discover their career, their path, even at the age of 40, you know. So let's talk about what would be your advice as someone who has been in this career path for a while. What would your advice be for people who are aspiring to go into this?
Actually, they should be focused, because one day they will be like, we are after the money. In anything, if you are after the money, you will not last. When I started this, I wasn't paid anything, actually. When I started working as a dubbing artist, I wasn't paid a penny. So I was just doing it because I know definitely in the future, I will achieve a lot of things. So they should just work and they should focus on their work and determination. I guess they will move far, inshallah.
Inshallah. So do you see, you know, the dubbing industry growing much more further? I mean, beyond that, considering now people are watching same movies like maybe Korean movies. Do you see, you know, the dubbing reaching out to some part of the country? We're talking about even Yoruba movies. Igbo movies, to translate it. How big do you see this industry going?
Yeah, I see that as a very big thing because I notice a lot of people are into Korean movies now. So I was even thinking of, since the Indian dubbing stuff is down, kind of down now, why can't we just start maybe translating the Korean movies, since it's a kind of captivating, in the whole society. So why can't we just start dubbing the Korean movies? So I guess we'll have to look into that and dive into it, and inshallah it will go.
Definitely,
yeah.
because I know some people that are kind of addicted to K-drama series and movies. So yeah, it will go a long way for them to get the translated version in Hausa. But then I would love to ask this question before we go. Do you do audiobooks, animation, translations, or even commercials? Because you have a very good voice, by the way. So do you do other things, or is just the Indian movies that you get to act on, or So tell us.
All the above mentioned, I'm into it because there is this guy in Zimbabwe. He's into all this animation. Yeah, I guess I was paid in dollars too. He sent me all the information required, and I dubbed it and I forwarded it to him. He's into animation. Also, I do adverts all over. Also, I, like you said, the books too. Yeah. And there is this book too. I started reading it. You know the book.
Yeah. We do know the story.
It too. Yeah. And I imitate. I just imagine how Gizo is and how Koki is, and I imitate. I just create my own version of the voice, the voice that would suit her, and it was so lovely. Yeah.
You do have a very fascinating career there. Thank you so much, Hawa Musa Abdullahi, popularly known as Mufi, a musician, voice-over artist, and also an entrepreneur. Thank you so much for joining us, from Ghana to talk about this amazing job. We wish you all the best.
Certainly. Thank you so much, Hawa, for joining us. Thank you.
And then, of course, we have
Thank you so much.
Come to the end of this. I mean, amazing discussion.
Amazing,
a very insightful
all the voices that she, kind of did. The last one, like I said, the first one she did when you asked her the process, it really got me scared because I wouldn't believe that Mufi can actually do this voice. So for a lot of people that want to venture into this, just know that there's a huge career in it, and opportunities, in every sector, every industry that you want to venture into. And Sumaya, I think, that it's, I don't know if you do that because, I've done some voiceovers for some animations. I don't know where they are, which country they have gone to.
Like I said, when you're talking about journalism and acting, they're working,
they work hand in hand together.
Of course, we do documentaries, so that is basically,
you have to change your voice, make it more sweeter, not, So
it is a beautiful thing. Anyway, so with that, we have come to the end of today's show, Daybreak Extra on Trust Television. Please, in case you missed some part of it, or even if you don't, just go ahead, go to our social media platform and follow us via all social media platforms, and you can join the YouTube live stream for news programs and documentaries. Thank you so much for staying with us. I am Sumaya Abubakar. Do have a lovely day.
And I'm Fatima Ahmed Musa. Do hold on for Adeni Adishafe with the Weekend Spot.